Hello everybody, today's video is going to be about my custom-made 5x5 SuperBarrel. Before I actually get into this, I want to tell you what inspired me to make this puzzle, and it's a YouTube user named SunnWinder. I've talked about SunnWinder before in my rainbow leaf cube puzzle, and basically for my new subscribers who haven't heard of SunnWinder before, basically this person's channel consists of custom puzzles like this, like one-of-a-kind puzzles. There's some, Tony Fisher's puzzles that this person's made, and I think some puzzles that have never been made, and probably one-of-a-kind. Anyways, when I saw this stuff, the detail and the craftsmanship is what really impressed me, and I think that it is above and beyond Tony Fisher's end result, but some people might argue with that on me. I'm not here to argue about it. That's just my opinion. And so when I saw the puzzles, I was like, oh, maybe I want to buy one. And so I contacted SunnWinder, and SunnWinder said, I don't sell them. It's just a hobby I do. And so I looked around for, a barrel cube. Where could I find one? And I couldn't. So I decided I'm going to make one. And so I contacted SunnWinder and said, how do I make one? And so SunnWinder, through messages back and forth, gave me instructions on how to make puzzles and said, I don't recommend making this one right away. Make a couple other ones first out of a 3x3. So I made this one, which is the rainbow leaf cube, as you all seen probably. And then this one, which is a half truncated cube, where I've just started stickering it. And then I went on to this, and I'm glad that I took that advice and did those two, because this one probably wouldn't have turned out so well if I didn't. So if you're really interested in puzzles like this, or like really weird looking puzzles, things like that, then at the end of this video, click the link in the description and go and check out SunnWinder's channel. And if you really like it, hit subscribe. I know a lot of people have really enjoyed that person's channel since I mentioned it on this puzzle. So if you haven't, then go and check that out. And just as a special thank you to SunnWinder, I've created a custom graphic that you guys saw in the beginning with the motion, the sun with the winding thing in it. That was just my way of saying thanks, SunnWinder, for all of the help, and I can't wait to make some more puzzles using your guidelines. Alright, so let's get on to the specs of this puzzle. I made this out of a Shengshou 5x5. I probably would have made it out of a V-Cube 5, but I didn't have a black one at the time. However, making it out of the Shengshou 5x5 made a really good puzzle, because Shengshou 5x5s are really, really smooth puzzles. As you can see, I'm going to start showing you some of the rotation now. This is really, really smooth. This actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out, especially with these inner layers. Like if this was, I can do this with one finger. I just don't have anything to hold on to, but they're super smooth. Like I can't believe how nice this turned out. And of course, with the puzzle being round like this now, you really got to watch that everything is aligned in order to be able to turn it some more. And I really like these sides, these small sides, because they kind of like dip into the puzzle a little bit. And I thought that always looked really cool. And there's some other puzzles like Tony Fisher's V Sculpture and the 7x7 barrel where that really happens a lot. And I just think it looks really neat. And so all the layers turn very, very nice. Sometimes when I'm solving this puzzle, it can be a little bit difficult to align just because the layers want to turn so well. And I've properly lubricated it too with Maru and Lubix. The combination of Maru and Lubix is actually really good, especially on a puzzle like a Shengshou. So while I was making this puzzle, I noticed near the end that I was doing a lot of mistakes that I made on this cube and on this cube. As you can see on this cube here, there's a lot of scuff marks, and that's because I went too far with the Dremel and I didn't sand enough. And so that same thing kind of happened here, but I'm still relatively new, but luckily the stickers covered it all up. Like you can't see any imperfections. Like it looks molded, and I'm very, very happy with the result of this puzzle. And so what I did is I took a 5x5 and I drew a circle using a cup for a stencil, and I just found the right size cup. And I did it on the top and the bottom, and then I used a Dremel and I shaved away at the corners. And this here is where the corner was. So this piece, this red piece right here, is actually a corner. And so I just kind of shaved it away, and I did that on all of them. And then I took the puzzle apart and I filled all the pieces with epoxy sculpt, and I glued in the caps, because while you're shaving away, the caps would fall out and stuff. So and I lost a couple of them too. but that's okay because I just rebuilt it with epoxy sculpt anyways. So then after it was all filled in with epoxy sculpt, I sort of reshaped it with the Dremel, and then I, you know, fine-tuned it with sandpaper. I'd hold sandpaper in my hand and I'd go like this, or I'd do little circles, and I'd move the pieces around like this to see, oh, it's not flush here, and then I'd sand it, and when it all looked flush, I'd go like this again, and I'd see what's not flush with itself again, and I just do that over and over and over again until I wound up with the perfect circle barrel. And it turned out pretty well, I think. After the whole sanding process, I just spray painted. I took all the pieces apart, I laid them out, I spray painted it, I waited for it to dry, I flipped them over and I sprayed it again and put it back together. And actually the spray paint didn't add too much thickness. Like, it's just, it turns so well still. I was actually really surprised. So the concept of a barrel cube is not my idea. I know Tony Fisher's made and still makes, I think, 7x7 barrels to auction off, and I'm not sure if he made a 5x5 barrel or not. I think maybe SunnWinder might be the inventor of the 5x5 barrel. But the color scheme on this puzzle is where it's really at now. Most of the time on a barrel cube, this is one color and so is this. And then this will be one whole color, but these weird shaped pieces like this, those will be like a solid color. That one will be a solid color, and there'll be, you know, a different color for these 3 layers here. I chose to do a super cube pattern because it would just make the cube, you know, that much harder of a solve. And it is. Like, when I solve this thing, it's really, really tricky. And the reason for that is because this piece here with the orange and blue on it, there's also this one. And even though they look the same, you cannot interchange them. If you tried to put this one here, it's going to be backwards. The orange and blue will be on the opposite sides. And so say I'm solving and I create this bar, and then I go to create these 2 bars to insert. I got to watch which one I'm working with, because I know that on here it's going to be a perfectly square blue piece and a perfectly square orange piece, and that's just the way it is on the top and bottom. So there's only one of each. So if I start placing this on this side of this piece and this one on this side, and I try to insert it, it's going to be flipped backwards. It won't be able to work. And same with the edge pairing too. You can see that there's 2 of these same looking blue pieces, but you can't, if you put this one here and this one here, they're going to be poking out, right? They're not going to be flush anymore. And so when you're edge pairing, say with this one, I can put the this blue piece, then this one, and then this orange piece, or I can use this one to put here with this one, and this orange piece to put with this one, and then it won't sit flush with this center anymore. So while solving it, you really have to pay attention, and that makes a very original concept for a solve. You really have to pay attention on what you're doing, and I didn't get that at first. I didn't really take a second to look around the cube and try to understand the solve before I went on to solving it, which is pretty cool because then I got to experiment a lot, and I really, really like experimenting with cubes and trying out different things. And so it kind of stumped me for a bit because I got all my centers and edges done, and then I couldn't put anything in. And it dawned on me, well, there's 2 of each piece. And you know, the fact that each edge piece here has one color on it like this, that doesn't make it any more easy because of the 2 look the same, and you have to know which one to put there. So that's you know, a really challenging puzzle. This is so challenging, actually. I think I would like to make one out of a 4x4, a 6x6, and a 7x7. I got my 7x7 in pieces here. I was trying to make it adjustable, but I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and I'm going to make a barrel cube out of a 7x7. If I made one out of a 6x6, say like if I go and buy a black cube, because I want to make these out of black, you would see that it wouldn't have stickers down the center, and the center thing wouldn't have 4 stickers because there is no center, right? So what would happen is it would just be this whole corner section like this would be one color. And because of that, it would act like this kind of cube, you know, where you can interchange what side the colors are. And, you know, because they're not restricted, they're not, you know, they're not stuck to other pieces. And doing that on something like this in a barrel shape with this color scheme would be a very, very challenging puzzle. It would probably be a one of a kind. And I think I might just do that. I just got to really take a look at the insides to make sure that it's possible to do that. I'm pretty sure it is though. So the colors I chose for this are your dominant colors on one side, which is blue, yellow, green, and red. Now this is dark green and dark blue. On the other side, we've got the orange and white from the usual color scheme, but then I've got light blue and light green. So it turned out very well. I think I really like the color scheme. The dark green is opposite of the light green, and the light blue is opposite of the dark blue, which, you know, makes it really nice to look at because they're not so close to each other. You know, if they were like this, it'd be, oh, there's two blues there. But I chose my color scheme. I don't think there's another puzzle in the world that is shaped and stickered like this. I'm pretty sure it's a one of a kind, but if you know of one, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. And if any of you haven't guessed yet, this is a shape-shifting puzzle. Most of you know that I really, really like shape-shifting puzzles. In fact, every single puzzle that I've made is a shape-shifting puzzle. So this rainbow leaf cube is a shape-shifting puzzle. As you can see, my half-truncated cube is a shape-shifting puzzle. And the 3x3x5 that I made that's fully functional is also a shape-shifting puzzle. So as you can see, I have a thing for those. And so I'm going to show you some of the shape-shifting now. If you were to turn this like that, it just moves just like a regular 5x5, as you can see. And then you can turn it back and you can move layers and keep continuing to shape-shift. And this thing starts to look pretty intimidating after a little bit. And if you've been following me on Facebook, then you'll probably know and seen this already. And if you're not following me on Facebook and you would like to, the link is in the description. I update videos that are coming up. I give you pictures, like sneak peeks into videos that are coming up. I know a lot of people have been enjoying that lately. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and check that out. Okay, so this thing is looking pretty scrambled now. So this is what it looks like in the shape-shifted form. I don't know about you, but when I saw this, I was like, awesome. That is awesome. You know, and the fact that I made this myself and it turned out so well, it makes me, you know, pretty proud of it. I'm not going to part with this. I know when I made my rainbow leaf cube, a lot of people asked me if they could buy it off me or if I could make them one. And at this point in the stage, I don't think that I'm as precise as I would like to be in order to make puzzles for people. As far as, you know, a lot of people say, well, I'll pay you for it. I'll send you the cube and money. And that's not really the issue. The issue is that I'm still learning and I'm making puzzles for myself right now and not for other people quite yet. And not only that, but I didn't come up with the concept of a barrel cube, so I don't know if I'm allowed to make and sell them. I know that Tony Fisher sells, you know, 7x7 barrel cubes, and he does not want other people to do that. Not of respect, obviously. If I'm going to make one, it's for my own use and not to sell, because I would be taking away business from him. And I'm not sure if he came up with the 5x5 barrel cube, because I know on SunnWinder's channel, on SunnWinder's barrel cube, it says SunnWinder's barrel cube. So I'm not sure if it's a Tony Fisher mod or not. But if, you know, if somebody wanted one of these things, I would have to ask SunnWinder's permission, or even find out if SunnWinder was the first person. I have to, you know, get the permission from the inventor of the puzzle in order to make money off of it. I don't think that I am too interested in that though. But as you can see, it turned out really, really well. I'm super happy with this thing. I couldn't be more happy with this kind of puzzle. It's very, very difficult to solve. And so thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you on my next video.